Game on to the Spider Queen. Best of 5 at the Masters Clash, everybody. We have 30k going up against Team Arthas. Arthas is still building his temple here. We're on Playday number 2 of the Masters Clash. And yeah, this is going to be a pretty interesting one. 30k, obviously the favorite heading into this, but I mean, you can't really say that they struggled lately, right? Going up against teams like, I don't know, the Donuts, going up against Chili Mountain, against the Hardos. Those are all top teams, so it's not like 30k all of a sudden has like dropped low or anything. But at least in some of the tournaments, the Rive Cup for example, they didn't really perform as dominant as they did in the first Masters Clash qualifier. But now that we're in the regular season of the Masters Clash, of course it's all down to how many maps do you win, how many matches can you lock in for victory. And Team Arthas has always been one of the teams that was trying to push into the top 4, as I've been talking about already plenty of times. This is an opportunity for them to at least take a couple of maps. A victory in the match, of course, would be absolutely fantastic, but the bigger question is simply, can they pull it off, yes or no? So it's going to be really interesting from that perspective, but 30k, they are going to try to defend the position that they are in right now. They're definitely one of the favorites to end up in the top spots at the end of the regular season. Now on the ban patterns here in the newest patch, we still got the Uther ban. Malfurion has shot up a bit in terms of how often he's being played now. Also quite a bit with Tracer recently again. Obviously still one of the best supports if you want to help Tracer out to do her thing. Chromie and Medivh are still banned out, and of course Jojo here on Tomb is banned for the wave clear that she offers. But we got Lulcio and we got Cassia for Bishops pretty much immediately. It's going to be interesting to see what Morenas is going to play. But talking about Tracer, there she is. So Dino gets to play as Tracer again. And on top of that, we're also seeing Sonya. Yep, that Malfurion plus Tracer combo. We're going to see that a lot more. After the recent changes, we've seen small adjustments, but definitely impactful ones. And Malf, therefore, is back in the meta. Tracer is all of a sudden saying, like, let's go, boys. And we're back to the Tracer style, which is awesome for a lot of the teams. I mean, we're talking about Dino, who has been playing a lot of Zeratul lately, of course. But if you remember how he actually made his name, it was Zeratul, it was his Tracer plays, Vala at times too. Pretty much in the same order of what we're seeing from Tai most often. But that's pretty neat for him, since now he gets to play Tracer a lot more. And that's also where the ban on Varian comes into play, because you're pretty much looking at Tracer, you're saying like, well, the only thing that really threatens her, if you have a good Tracer player, is anything that locks her down. What's the best hero to lock Tracer down? Varian, obviously. You hit the taunt and then she's gone. But with all of that, they have set themselves up for a really good foundation. The red team has to counter that, so what they need is a bit of CC or at least direct target damage. Could be like auto attackers, right click damage heroes. Jimmy, Hammer in the past have been played in that role. But for now, they're going for Denardo on Mei. And we got on top of that Hanzo, played by Morenas. So yeah, pretty good start here. With Ultralisk and Masquerade missing, could still see something along the lines of Maiev if they really want to play Ultralisk in that position and Masquerade on the tank. If you want to make Tracer your only range damage dealer, you could definitely do that. So time will tell. But for now, also Masquerade's choice is going to be an interesting one. Gul'dan first of all. And Mal'Ganis, yes, also addressed a little bit in the patch, and Mal'Ganis indeed gets played. So, Masquerade coming in with him today, whereas Stork is missing and he drops the Panda. Chen is back. Played him already, I think, on Volskaya Foundry just a few days ago, but now we have him again. Guys, this sets us up for game number 1, our Heroes of the Storm best of 5. Tomb of the Spider Queen is our first map. 30k goes up against Team Arthas. 30k against Team Arthas. The series kicks off on Tomb of the Spider Queen. Our blue Heroes of the Storm team on the left with X-Ray on Malfurion, Dequaza on Sonya, Ultralisk is playing Gul'dan, we got Dino and Tracer, and Masquerade on Mal'Ganis, everybody. On the right side of the map, Stork playing Chen for the red team. We got ArthasStroitHram with Morenas on Cassia, Bishops on Hanzo, Denardo on Mei, and Skilla is playing Lucio. Okay, let's get the show started. Let's see what the teams can pull off here. Should be a fun one, honestly. Because right now, we have some pretty cool tools with Tracer in particular. Can make all the big plays here. We have the potential for Gul'dan to throw the wave clear around. And later on in the game, also make some moves with his Horrify. We got the Panda on the bot lane, which is kind of cool in and of itself. Plus some additional damage stacking from Morenas as he's playing Cassia in game number 1 here. So we're definitely off to the races. Now the blue team is the favorite here. Let's not mince word here. But still, the red team, Team Arthas, the Russian-Ukrainian team, they're pretty strong. And they're also very, very aggressive. So they always have a chance to make some plays. I was already a bit surprised that Masquerade actually made it into the lobby in time, but it seems that our resident French player over here is pausing the game again. I'm not quite sure if anybody dropped. It doesn't really look like it. But I was already wondering how it's possible that Masquerade is not only on time, but joining the lobby in a pretty reasonable fashion. But now that we get the pause immediately, I was like, yeah, that's probably him making some adjustments. I mean, again, either way, it could also be Ultralisk. He's a little bit known for having problems with his internet connection every now and then. Again, if you are from Germany, then you know the internet is very new for us, as Angie is not tired of saying. But either way, now that we are continuing with the party over here, the important part is that the rotation is still ongoing. It's a 4-man between the middle and the top lane. Sometimes, especially in the past, we've seen the one-on-one lane slightly switched up and instead focusing onto the top. Not so here though. But in terms of like talents that we're getting, we have the stacking with the Echoed Corruption, the Emerald Dreams just in the last patch has now also been locked in, so you get the extra sleep on top of the Rouge, which is kind of neat. A little bit more CC that he offers. But we'll see who walks away with the lead here. Because the aggression that we have from the red team is something that you definitely have to adjust to. And normally you have a lot of these top teams being very clean and crisp in their rotations, and also the in-fight shot calling that can really help you against an aggressive team when reaction time is kind of everything. But the camp is now already stolen, so especially on the macro calls, the team in blue is doing fairly well. We have, of course, also the Bruiser camp taken, and that's mostly true on the side of Team Arthas, but 30k is going to make a move for that soon, too. The first thing that they do, though, is they use the Siege Giants with that little 3-man at the bottom to take the first tower down. So they're kind of exploiting the fact that Team Arthas has a few of their heroes over at the camp, trying to take the Bruiser camp first. And that's actually a pretty neat move, and it works very well for them, because it ends up with them having an advantage in structures already, and now they can simply fall back while the red team is defending, and make a move for their own Bruiser camp to push through the middle after just a little bit. And that's likely where we're going to see them headed soon. Probably going to defend this one first with Ultralisk on Gul'dan, chipping in all of that AoE damage that they're needing here. But you can see that the aggression is not only coming from the blue team. We got Team Arthas exploiting that camp to the fullest extent, moving straight through the middle, putting some solid pressure onto all of the structures here. They're not able to take one of the towers down, but they are definitely getting a hit in against that wall. And once that they're able to get their first turn in, that is going to matter a lot, because that wall is pretty fragile at this point. You're going to break through that easy peasy, and then the Web Weaver might even have a chance to drop the first 4. But either way, talking about the Web Weavers, let's not forget that only one of the teams has so far turned some of their gems in, and that happens to be 30k, so we have them with 17 already dropped. Our solo laners both are still holding on to their gems. Stork is currently sitting only on 9 gems, and a bit of an assist there. But here comes the camp pressure through the mid lane from the blue team, and they're going to try and play the same game. They're even focusing one of the towers down. So once more, 30k with a slight advantage here in structures, playing really well around the camp push. They were successful with the siege camp push at the bot lane, and now with the Bruiser push in the middle of the map. But the turn-in is still pretty far off for both of the teams, and they're going to, of course, both now try to make a play there. But still, the question is who can get the first turn-in, or at least the first kill, because we are still without a single kill in this game, too. Both teams now have their level 4 talents, but we haven't seen them progress to 7 just yet. With the blue team knocking on the level 7 talent, there's a chance, though, that they are going to try and force a fight with their talent advantage. And there it is, but the Quasar is low, and that's a problem. Trying to re-engage against Stork, and they're making a play for Lucio, and they pop him. Easy kill. Yeah, well done here. Get the spear already in on Sonya, and it seems like Stork is also in trouble, and that is 14 gems that he just lost there. They're trying to recover that, and Denado is getting most of it. So good for him, good for them. Sitting at the 25, but he won't be able to deny the turn-in. So Masquerade and Dino are delivering, and that means that the blue Web Weavers are gonna touch ground first in this game. It's nearly a level lead thanks to the 2 kills and that structure damage that we've now seen here for the team in blue. 30k is already prepping the lanes by pushing the minion waves back quickly and trying to take another tower down even before the web weavers arrive. So, yeah, they are playing a pretty mean game over here, and it is starting to hurt the boys in red pretty significantly. This could definitely yield a fort if played correctly, and if they can get another kill or two, that will of course be an absolute dream for them. But yep, party starts to move straight through all of this. Bottom of the map, we're already seeing some push coming in from Quasar together with the Web Weavers. Stork is doing his best to stop it, but then again in the middle, Denado, careful. 34 gems for him. That is not something that you can simply let slide. You need to be really cautious on how you approach in that battle, or you are going to be toast, my friend. That's exactly what's happening here. Bottom fort is nearly falling. At the top, it's also in trouble. Down here, Chen is holding on to it, but the mighty minion wasn't able to take it down, but of course they're going to take it soon. Denado moves out. If he loses those gems, then they're in trouble. They lose Lucio for the second time, but the fort at the top is dropped. Lucio at least not losing any hit points, but look at how well 30k is exploiting the situation here. Pushing this further and further and further and absolutely crushing them. Sonya's gonna get that bot lane fort, no questions asked. We got level 10 in the hands of 30k. They are just dominating this. All of this is happening with the first web wave. It's the first objective that they just turned in, and they, I mean, pretty much got 3 forts out of it. A level advantage, they got an extra kill, now 3 in total, and they got 3 forts eliminated. That's pretty much the best case scenario of what you can expect here. So it's a fantastic position for them to be in. Really, really well done. And that's kind of crazy, honestly. Because now it's going to be very difficult for Team Arthas to make a play for the turn-in, since their own fountain is so far away. They have to fall back to the keep in order to tap their hit point pool off. Now, the first thing that they have to do is get level 10, obviously. And they're starting to take their own camp here. They have 72 gems that they cannot turn in right now for obvious reasons. But once that the heroic abilities are hitting, they have an opportunity. Then again, the blue team is actually trying to make a play for boss, and that is stretching it a bit. They got some vision on the map, so that's the saving grace right now. But the problem would still be if the red team rotates over and tries to force this. But since Chen is consistently visible at the bottom of the map, it's not really a big problem, so they are able to sneak this in. And they time another turn in with it. It is an insane setup. Honestly, 30k is making all the right moves here. I mean, look at the beauty of that Web Weaver coming in with the boss now. That is an insane push at the top side. Chen isn't even here. He's still at the bottom of the map. And now with 3 kills to 0 and an incredible powerful push at the top. They have a 4-man set up already. A 5-man coming in soon if Sonya rotates over too. And they can definitely get this. They're going for the kill, and Mei goes down. They need to recover those gems. That's 35 and they're getting them. The keg comes in. The big arrow follows. But it doesn't change the fact that Cassia's in trouble. Morenas goes down. 5 kills to 0. And they are crushing that top lane push. Oh my god. They're getting slapped around here. Team Arthas is getting beaten. This is insane. The keep is down. We're 8 minutes into the game. And look at the middle. Look at the bot lane. Both of those get pushed as well. And they're already trying to even go for a bit of core damage here. Sieging up with the boss just slightly. And it is just absolutely bonkers. Pretty much 30k is just moving in and is... Oh, that's a quick kill against Cassia again. And they're trying to get more. Quasar. Can they get the counter kill? So far, the red team hasn't gotten a single kill yet. Not one. There's a talent advantage now too. Here comes the Keck play as they're going for the Quasar, who simply says, guys, there's no wall anymore in the middle. I can simply get out here. Actually, now that we're thinking about it, no, now that I'm here, let's take that keep too. That's probably a great idea. So I try to go for that as well. Dino moves in again, trying to go for Denado here. Bot lane is getting pressured. The keep nearly gone. In the middle, they're doing work. 6 kills to 0. The arrow is not hitting anything. Is actually completely lost. Yeah, that arrow is going absolutely nowhere. Same time now, they're going for the re-engage, or at least looking at it with the new minion wave moving in. And the quest is even completed now that we're on level 14. I mean, 30k is just putting a number on Team Arthas. Yeah, Team Arthas is trying to build a temple here. I mean, the translation of the Russian name. And I gotta tell you one thing. We currently have the blue team coming in like a bulldozer, destroying that temple easy peasy. There's nothing being built today. Maybe now, though. Mal'Ganis is down. That's the first kill for them. The counter kill against Stalk, though. And this is just a disaster. And I have to repeat myself, guys. It's not only that they just got their first kill. They haven't turned a single gem in this entire game. The red team has not turned a single gem in the entire game. And they lost every single keep. They only hold 50 gems too. That gives you a bit of an idea of how many gems were already lost by them. It's insane. It's absolutely nuts. I mean, it's incredible. Every keep lost 7 kills to 1. A 2.5 level advantage. Finally, it's at least even talents. But what the hell are you going to do with that? It seems like there is no hope for them. Dino is trying to interrupt the turn-in. The damage output on Tracers at 26,000. Gul'dan is ahead with 31k. Hanzo has 38, but again, that doesn't mean anything at all if you're not able to get the kills in. Bishops has to jump out now too. A couple of keck plays are being made here once again. And yeah, camps are pushing in every single lane now. Bot lane, Mercenary is there too. Cassia hit by the Horrify. The arrow connecting with X-Ray. Rumor has it that X-Ray saw it coming and just moved into its path to at least give them a little bit of hope and not make them feel too bad here. So good boy X-Ray. I like it, I like it. That gets a round of applause from me. Always thinking of the opponent. Nicely done, X-Ray. I appreciate it. It's a feel-good arrow. But they still didn't get a hit, of course. And now we have level 16 talents. We get another kill. Denado. He's down. He's not the only one to kill against Chen. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is a beatdown in game number 1. 30k with a convincing victory against Team Arthas in the first map of this Heroes of the Storm best of 5. Before we head into game number 2, make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet so you don't miss out on any future content here on Khaldor TV. Game number 2, 30k against Team Arthas, everybody. Yeah, bit of a beating. 30k came in swinging on the last map. I mean, boy, they did not joke around there, did they? I was the entire time waiting for the infamous aggression from Team Arthas, and there was none of that happening. I mean, these guys had a massive problem there. They were just like completely crushed from start to finish. It was insanity. Now we got our Uther and Chromie ban again. But, well, Team Arthas has to step it up a little bit. If they ever want to build that temple, then they gotta do something here. Because the last map, that definitely didn't feel good. So, yeah, rumor has it that they have to play this game standing because they got their ass kicked so hard that they can't sit down yet. There's the Phoenix ban on Volskaya Foundry 2. I mean, the map choice has been made by the blue team. And this is, again, a map where you can also throw a little bit of a curveball every now and then. We have different styles of how you can approach the map. A lot of them even ignoring the, well, the Protector more or less completely, at least initially. And let's see what else they can put up with this.
My blades are yours.
Yeah, Sonya is the first pick. And what else are we gonna get? Because, honestly, at this point, I rather want to know... Okay, apparently that seems to be a thing today. I wasn't really so much talking about that combo as it all kicks off, but honestly, Malfurion and Tracer worked incredibly well on the last map, and it's also a hero composition that has been played on Volskaya Foundry a ton, when it was still, like, super clean in the meta. Now that it's starting to come back again, it doesn't really surprise too much that we're getting locked in again. Seems like 30k is just thinking, guys... It worked on the last map, there's another good map for it, let's just go. But this time we have an immediate lock on Varian, as Team Arthas is saying, you know what, let's see what we can actually do here. So they're looking for the taunt, and we have Cassia again. And if you remember the last game, the third ban was against Varian, so they were trying to make the life of Tracer a little bit easier. This game, she has to be more careful. There's always, of course, a chance that they're also drafting a different... I mean, let's say, for example, you draft a Zarya together with it. Even if Varian gets the taunt through, Zarya could come in and help out. So, Zarya's not the only one. You have a couple more supports, of good heroes that can help to simply protect Tracer when she gets attacked. If not, then she just has to stay a little bit farther away from Varian and make sure that she's dodging out on all of the taunts. There's, of course, also Malfurion 7 that can help out with it a bit. But either way, it's going to be a bit more tricky for Dino to get the plays through that he had on the last map. So as it stands, Tigers gets banned, and we also have a ban on Mal'Ganis again. So the full-on sleeper setup that we had on the last one isn't happening there either. We got already Urel and Diablo logged in. And Dibbles with a good root, or just like simply a good stun overpower into a Malfurion root, that could be a pretty nasty setup as well. So that isn't too shabby what they have here. Very tricky to kill too. I mean, if you remember, back in the day of HGC, we had for a long time the combo of Diablo, Urel plus Deckard Cain, which absolutely obliterated anything. It was insane how scary that combo was. And it's not quite what we're seeing here, but it's just a testament how powerful that double frontline is, because it's super hit point heavy. And the reaction comes in the form of Greymane, who with the bullet can of course start to chunk them down a little bit. Brightwing together as a support, and that leaves us with Ultralisk on the last pick. Now again, the same question that we had on the last map. Do you play the triple front line, or do you add another damage dealer? And they go for Kel'Thas! Okay! There's the Fireboy over here. Volskaya Foundry. We have game number 2 coming up, and we see Tracer in a combo with Kel'Thas, who's even adding more CC to the combo that 30k is playing. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let's jump straight into Volskaya Foundry. Game number 1 was a bit of a beatdown. Game number 2, well, we're gonna find out if 30k can pull it off again in the same fashion, or if this time Team Arthas are gonna find their stride and bring that aggression that they're so famous for. So, right now on the left side, we got 30k with X-Ray on Malfurion. We currently got Dino and Tracer. Ultralisk is playing Kel'Thas, Quasar on Urel. Masquerade is playing Diablo. And on the right side of the map, Stalk on Sonya, Denado on Varian, Bishops is playing Cassia, we got Skilla on Brightwing, and Morenas is playing Greymane. Alrighty, let's go. Kel'Thas with the level 1, as usual, going for the Mana Addict here. We're gonna get quite some follow-ups with the Gravity Labs, of course. And yeah, it's gonna be pretty interesting what we're gonna get from that, because there's an immediate kill against Varian. I mean, that bad boy doesn't even stand a chance here, so yeah, bad news for him. And what else are we gonna get? Thunderstroke in with a couple of initial stacks, but of course the CC train that we already witnessed for 30k is a little bit of a problem. And that is gonna hit hard, because they are aggressively looking for fights. I mean, you can see them roam around between the top and the mid lane here, not really trying to go for anything else, but just looking for a battle. If you get a Diablo engage into the roots on Malfurion and then the Gravity Labs on top of it, you're guaranteed that Dino is connecting the damage. And they are already looking for another one. I mean, Denado is literally looking for them on the map. He's like setting the flank up to protect them. You're saying like, well, we gotta be a little bit more careful here. So, yeah, that's what it is. I mean, either way, now that we got our first camps up on the map, the teams are looking into taking some of these turrets, and that's already the first thing that we are seeing over here. So they got that. We have down here at the bottom the play for Stalk. Brightwing is trying to help out, and Ultralisk is coming with a late Gravity Lapse that doesn't connect, but the root, on the other hand, that will connect it fairly well, and that's an easy kill against Brightwing. So 2 kills to 0, and they're rotating around, looking for aggression and looking for a couple of additional kills here, and the situation is currently looking very, very good for the blue team. I mean, they got the early level 4, they got a slight advantage now, they're trying to lock with the talent, maybe also an additional camp in, could for example go for the healing beacon. Already Tracer is starting to whittle the hit points down a bit, and this isn't really looking too bad. So at this point, what else are we gonna get? Spray game is on point, so that's good. But the camp is taken on the right side. They just simply let the camp slide. They're more or less saying, hey guys, we got the taunt, so let's wait for that. Talents, by the way, we got the Parting Gift on level 1 into the Pulse Generator. So a little bit of a different setup here for Tracer. Not going for the 1-2 punch that we've seen so often. Same time, also with the taunt now, finally an opportunity to set a kill up for the team in red. So we'll see what they can do here. Maybe, oh, well, first of all, we get another wall stun against Denado. But Masquerade is taking a fair amount of damage too. He's currently sitting at 57 stacks, so he needs to be cautious with it. We got on level 1 now a new talent for Malfurion, of course, again. And on top of that, the Shando's Clarity right here. Yeah, it's a trap, baby. We've seen some of these traps being super effective in yesterday's Best of 5 series. The Heroes of the Storm, but here's the play, and, well, Dino gets away. So that's a full-on 5-man commitment at the top lane. It didn't really do anything for them just yet. Cleanse Out comes in as they're trying to make a play for Morenas here. But with Urel now also committing to this, they might just get a kill if they could connect some CC. And as it turns out, they're not able to do that. Nope, Ultralisk is missing the connection there. Now we still got Sonya at the bottom of the map, but at early level 7 already for 30k. They go for the objective, try to lock that in slowly. And of course they can still push the top lane at the same time. They still have their own camp here. And with a bit of ranged poke, that's not going to be a problem for them. Red team also has to still sit tight and make sure that they're not losing out on the top lane or on the objective. That's why Denado is taking over in the middle, but he gets immediately pushed back. Another wall stun, a push into the root, the bomb connects, and that is a kill. The CC chain is just too insane. Diablo engaged into Malfurion root, into Gravity Lapse, and that was kill number 1. Big root! Big laps, big kills. Oh boy, that one hurt. Let's check that out again because whew, that one was spicy. Look at that sexy root right there. And that gives them another turret, of course. They get the kills, 5-0. They were just murdering them. I mean, damn son. That was kind of crazy. That was amazing, honestly. It doesn't get much better than that. You lead with 5 kills to 0. You're already on level 9.5 and your opponent is barely scratching at level 8. Quest is also nearly completed for Khaldor, which is just fantastic for him. You want to always complete it by the time that your opponent has level 10. It gives you a lot more survivability and just ease of mind. And he's looking fantastic right now. I mean, just look at that setup. Survivability is going to be fantastic once that he locks the next one in, which is, by the way, available now. Didn't go for it, though. The fight is still happening before level 10, I might add. But the wall stun marks the end of Sonya, and they go for the kill against Greymane. 30k is crushing. Pyro, baby, and... so close. So close. Yeah, but the Pyroblast doesn't get the kill. They get the Protector, though. So that's 7 kills to 0. They have the level 10 abilities. They can push through the middle. And it's incredible. Think about game number 1 and now where we are in game number 2. They are trying to make this a quick 3-mapper here. Another kill against Cassia. The fort is already gone. They are crushing. Absolutely crushing. It's mind-boggling. And this isn't even a 5-man in the middle. I mean, Quasar was sitting at the bottom of the map and doing some damage here. Masquerade, by the way, he's just pausing the game to pat himself on the shoulders a little bit for all of these big engages that we had with Diablo as all of this happened. He's just saying like, oh boy, you are amazing. I mean, Masquerade, seriously, calm down a little, my friend. But, well, let's take another look at that double kill because that one was fantastic. So this was the last engage that we saw there with the 2 kills. And that really marked also more or less the end of the ambitions for the Protector. So a big fight for them that ended very well. Now the fort in the middle has been eliminated and they're rotating towards the top. And there's another 20 seconds that they have on the Protector. Cassia is dead, as you can see. There is still no level 10 in sight for Team Arthas. We have a 2-level advantage with 8 kills to 0 for 30k. And of course now the opportunity to, I mean, maybe not break down the fort, but they should be able to open the wall and also take the fountain down. And normally, with Protector number 1, this is the only thing that you're trying to do. Normally, you're trying to just simply take this wall and take the fountain. And in addition to that, they were able to take the fort in the middle. And they did damage at the bottom, where Quasar is still active. And as you can see, even Tracer is now starting to move down to help him out there a little bit. So it's looking pretty fantastic. The damage output is reflecting it too. We have 18,000 damage for Tracer, which is just insane if you compare it to what Team Arthas is running. They're on 12,000 damage for Greymane, which granted isn't like too horrible, but it's nowhere near what Dino is bringing to the table. And Cassia has only 12,000k. Now, she is stacking fairly well, but she's just not on the same level here. It's actually kind of crazy. They're going for the 4 too. They're just letting the wall slide. So they're not going for the fountain just yet. They're still helping Masquerade out, who already dropped his own. And he's going into the Protector. Gives him a little bit more wiggle room. And he's still able to get out. Double gravity lapse. And the kill. Can't stop, won't stop. The big damage coming through. That's insane. Absolutely insane. 9 kills to 0. Yeah, 38 stacks. Good job, Cassia. But you still need to do the damage. Fort at the bottom, talking about doing the damage, has now been taken down. And this isn't looking too great either. I mean, the entire wall is now open. It's still a 2-level lead. We finally have level 10. So Team Arthas now have their bullet out. Masquerade is a little bit low here, but they can now slowly rotate back. It's just nuts, though. Just absolutely nuts. Yeah, that is, on the other hand, a really nice setup against Arthas, and he's dead. But so is Sonya. Sonya is down. Quick escape as the Apocalypse gets dropped. They're moving away. It's a kill for a kill. But it also marked the first kill for Team Arthas. So honestly, I think that deserves a round of applause. I think that was really nice what they did here. First kill. Applause, guys. You can do it. Shaka, I believe. So, maybe now? Maybe not. Denato gets isolated. The next wall's done. Masquerade, don't give him Diablo. That guy is a natural born bully. NBB. Masquerade, that old Frenchie, he's just coming in. He takes your baguette. He takes your wine. And he is just crushing you 6 days to Sunday. If he has Diablo, there's going to be one wall stun after another. And he's just going to not make it a good day for you. The bathrobe boy, he's just playing you. We got 13 against 11 on the experience board, 11 kills to 1. And at the top, they're just waiting for the next objective. They're whittling down the structures. I guess at this point, the only thing that could really turn things is good coordination and an insanely stacked Cassia, which technically is possible. She's stacking well. There's a second kill, so they are getting a little bit better. But the problem is they have to keep their own boys alive. And that is the end of Sonya. Value on the Pyroblast. I mean, you could, of course, argue she would have died anyways, but still. Pyroblast connects, and that's a kill for Arthas, and you can hear them cheer in the background. Fire book! Fire book! Fire book! Nope. Either way, now that they're making the play for Morenas again, the top lane is under pressure. It's a 4 versus 4 that we're seeing here. And as it happens, they're looking at not only another talent advantage, but they're getting closer and closer to even 16. It could be a big problem for the next checkpoint. There's a kill against Tracer, though. So they're starting to really get some numbers in. That's not only true for Cassia, who's sitting at 56 stacks, but it's also true at the red team, as they're slowly but steadily bringing the experience back. They're closing the gap a little bit. Now, again, I'm being generous here, obviously, since we're talking about a 2-level gap. But, hey, they are starting to do exactly that. And another kill against Masquerade is coming in. There we go. There's a little bit of bully happening now on both sides, so good for them. Making the play, body blocking Ultralisk, and is that a kill? Yes, it is. Now Sonya dies too, but at this point, any kind of trade in heroes is working in favor of Team Arthas because they get a bit of an experience lead through that. Simply because they're currently in an underdog position, so they get that bonus. Now, doesn't change the fact that level 16 talents are now only moment ready for the 30k, but still, doing what they can. Bottom of the map, waiting for the rest to rotate in so that they can take the camp, playing it a bit slow since they didn't have vision. There's the level 16 talents now. On 13 we already got the Revitalize, and we got the Nature's Balance now too. But with the level 16 in their hands, pretty much no chance for Team Arthas to make a proper play for the top. I don't really think that they're going to move there anytime soon. At least we got 61 stacks for Cassia. Again, not bad on the stacking, but they need that to just scale hard or they will be in trouble as the game continues because they are losing ground. I mean, it's an undeniable fact. We got 35,000 damage for Tracer, 33,000 for Greymane. Cassia is a distant third with, actually a distant fourth even, behind Kelthas too. She's sitting at 27,000 damage right now. And of course there's a big gap in kills too. It's 13 to 5. I mean, duh. But here's the Protector. So they got a Protector in. They're gonna start to make their play at the top for the next fort. Spoiler alert, this one's gonna fall. And the only question is how much more can they do? Can they go for the keep itself? They have a talent advantage and they have a Protector. They have Urel again at the bottom of the map. Ultralisk, they're already sniffing out the flank attempt by Varian, so nothing that he can do about this. And the party continues. I mean, right here, there's the play, trying to get some extra damage in. There's the taunt, and Arthas gets the shield, and is alive. They really want him here, but I'm not sure. Yeah, there we go. The Lightning Fury connects, but the stun combo from Diablo comes in. They're going for Brightwing, and Trashwing is down. So is Cassia. They're going for the triple kill. Denato gets pushed back by Urel, and that's another one that falls. They might go for core here. If they can 5-man wipe them at this point, why wouldn't they give it a shot? They will definitely take a key. I mean, they are murdering them. Holy hell. 2-level advantage still. They're level 18 and we're only 12 minutes into the game. Now, Core is a little bit too ambitious, so instead they're going for keep number 2 in the middle, and every single lane is currently getting pressured against Team Arthas. It's a tough position for them to be in, even if you don't take the keep here. Doing that much damage already is a big problem in and of itself. And of course they can still simply roam the grounds here, push the bot lane in a little bit further. One of the towers has fallen here. They might be able to get the gate, maybe even the last remaining tower. And you can imagine how this is going to look if they are able to lock in the third protector too. Because now we're talking about a potential level 20 for them. They are just completely crushing this. They're making it look easy, honestly. They're making it really look easy. And yeah, that is the that's just simply the difference between the top 4 teams and the bottom 4 in the standings. The kill against Diablo, on the other hand, gives them the numbers advantage. If they can follow up on it, would be great. And nah, still not happening. Still not a kill. No Pyroblast value today. Nope, not happening over here. Another one thrown out. He survives. They take the camp shortly after that. Best damage dealer for the red team is Sonya with the 43,000 that she has. And yeah, it is getting scary because now the level 20 is kicking in any second. And with that, they should be able to make the play here. Now Dibbles at least doesn't have a lot of hit points because, well, he lost all of his soul stacks. But he can, with the level 20 on Khaldor, now poke from a distance with a flamethrower over here. And they're going to do exactly that against the keep. Slowly but steadily. Keep in mind the one in the middle is also fairly low. But they want to go for another kill. Denado, the combo, and Masquerade. Again, he is bullying them. But he's also about to fall. Yep, and there it is. Not enough hit points, told you. Stacks are low. Brightwing, on the other hand, also low in hit points. And once they go to 0, that's a dead Brightwing. One more Fruit Fly eliminated. The infestation is slowly coming to an end. But with now another kill against the red team, it seems like they're finally making the play for the bottom keep. The minion wave is pushing in and catapults are coming through with it too. The level 20 talent is just a bit too much to handle. And now that we have the keep in the bot lane destroyed, they're going for the mid lane too, because they're simply saying it's more experience, baby. Go for all the structures. Quick match style. Oh yeah. It costs Dino his life, and they might lose Urel too. They have not taken the keep, by the way. And yeah, the rest gets away. That includes Urel. Looked like she would fall, but she didn't. 100 stacks for Cassia. And that's the end of Khaldor. So that's a triple kill. 18 kills to 10. 1 keep remaining. 102 stacks for Cassia. Bishops is getting damage in. We now have him on 56,000 damage, so he's actually taken over on the red team side. And is also contesting slowly but steadily Tracer, who's still a little bit ahead. But still, Cassia by now is the second highest damage dealer. By the way, look at that fucker. Dequaza. Backdoor. Bam. Down. But talking about down, Malfurion has fallen. And guys, I'm not quite sure if you're seeing what I'm seeing here. But with Malfurion down, Team Arthas is simply saying, fuck it, let's go core. Or at least let's backdoor the keep. They can't go core yet. They have to take a fort down first. But I love this keep backdoor. That's actually crazy. They haven't taken a single fort down, but with them dropping the keep, they have a much easier time to later take down the fort here and then have an easy access. So that's actually a pretty neat move. Simply circumventing the fort completely and saying, you know what, let's just simply go for that and take this thing down. And let's see what we can do here. So that was a neat one. And they're trying to go for the next objective. So they haven't given up yet. They are still fighting for this, which is kind of cool. They're also going to get, I suppose, the item. And what is the blue team doing? They're trying to intercept Greymane. Greymane is not being pushed back, so Urel was a bit too late for it. Just a little bit too late for it. Now, they can still make their plays. Brightwing has to stay at the top lane a bit because there's still a camp that is pushing in. And if they lose Stalk, then it's pretty much lights out. So he's already dropping the turret very, very early. But they're trying to go for a fight. Can't quite do anything here. But they have the level 20 now as well. So both of the teams are on level 20. 58,000 damage for Cassia. And yeah, let's see what else they can do. Because at the bottom of the map, there's the push coming in. A little bit of a play here. Masquerade, careful, up to the top. There's a gravity lapse that connects, and the damage follows with a flamethrower. The core gets attacked on the right side. Yeah, just zoning Stark out a little bit, but that's not going to do enough damage to really threaten him, and they lose Malfurion again. Malfurion gets collapsed upon, dies, Cassia's dead too, Brightwing is dead as well. 30k, they're trying to clean house here. The core is already under attack on the right side of the map. Denato gets attacked, Greymane down, and Varian is eliminated. And guys, this is gonna be game 1 catapult, 2, 3, 4, 5. Shots keep raining down on the core. Tracer is now coming in. They're gonna end it right here. We got 34 kills in total, but the core is slowly and steadily falling. 30k is about to lock in a victory on map number 2 against Team Arthas. They're coming in with everything they have. Sonya is the only survivor. Stork is trying to hold on to it for a bit longer, but of course, there is just no hope left. And that is a 2-0 lead in our Heroes of the Storm series at the second Playday of the Masters Clash for 30k against Team Arthas in this best of 5 series. Nicely done. Game number 3, Infernal Shrines. Pretty... I mean, let's be honest, there were a couple of moments where it seemed like, hey, maybe Team Arthas can do something here. But in general, it was a very, very dominant performance thus far from 30k. So if Team Arthas really wants to turn it around, then they definitely need to step it up on Infernal Shrines now. And the first thing that they do is they ban Malfurion. And again, the ban against Malfurion is not necessarily they're saying like Malfurion as one hero is like the real problem here, but it's that combo between Tracer and Malfurion that you're trying to ban a bit by simply eliminating Malfurion from the equation. You could also ban out Tracer, but Tracer being picked without him is not really all that reasonable, so banning Malfurion kind of takes care of both. I mean, Malfurion obviously is also kind of neat here just in general. It has been seen a lot more now after the recent patch, but on Infernal Shrines where you have all these choke points around not only the camps, the mercenary camps, but also the objective, Malfurion can do fairly well. I mean, generally speaking, it's just like heroes that Malfurion, for example, you can look at like Deckard Cain, Stukov, all of these guys are pretty good at zone control. And that's something that you can definitely use them for. D.Va as a first pick for Team Arthas. And yeah, they need... I mean, D.Va's banned out, that was the most important part, but that leaves Chromie open. So Chromie is actually up and did not get picked by Team Arthas. Now, if you want to go into any kind of like nasty one-shot combo, just simply a little bit of a poke battle, Chromie would do well. Depends, of course, what kind of style you're trying to force here. If you are looking at full-on wave clear and Infernal Shrines focus on the objective, then she might not be the weapon of choice. But Johanna fits that bill very neatly. So first of all, she can try and play around with the Quick Blast Shield. And on top of that, she also adds wave clear and position on the shrine, whereas Chromie gets locked in by 30k. Finally gets played again.
Yay!
Someone's happy. It's the only one, honestly. And, well... let's see how the red team reacts. I mean, to be fair, they had a chance to pick Chromie. They didn't go for it, so now they need to just live with that. Honor! We got Diablo and Hanzo. Dream combo right here. D.Va Explosion into Hanzo Arrow, into Diablo Apocalypse, into Boom. That's the play right here. That would be the clip of the day if they pull that one off. Zeratul gets banned immediately. Don't want to deal with like the explosion, the isolation, and the plays against Chromie or anything like that. But, yep, next ban incoming. I could maybe target even Ultralisk. A Maiev ban wouldn't really be too bad here either. But Ana with a nano boost and the sleep dart setup is something that they also want to get rid of. Okay. So, time will tell. What are we getting? What is the blue team gonna take now to follow up on that Johanna? What is the side laner gonna be? Are we gonna have Malthael? Alright. And a Brightwing. Okay. Yeah, Malthael with a bit of a poke from Chromie and then coming in with a potential last rites is also kind of neat. Alright. And the supporter. Oh, the birdie! The birdie also changed, and we still get Lucio. Alright, false set is in. And there's Hogger, like no time wasted. Bam, snap pick on Hogger late in the draft too, but they still get him here. And that is, of course, neat for the Shrine as well. A 2-0 lead in our Heroes of the Storm match already for 30k. And guys, if they continue the way that they've been running the last 2 maps, then this is going to be a quick 3-0. Team Arthas has to step it up right now. We're going to find out on Infernal Shrines if they can. So let's go straight into game number 3.
Prepare yourselves
Is the birdie gonna change it? Is Falstad gonna come in and just says, boys, we're gonna deal with this right now. I'm gonna show you the way. We're gonna find out. Gust into the corner, into Apocalypse. Maybe they're gonna make it happen. Either way, we're gonna see if it works or not. For now, Ultralisk on Hoggar de Quasar on Malthael, Masquerade on Jojo, X-Ray on Brightwing, and Dino is playing Chromie. We got Stalk on Diva, Skill on Lucio for the red team, Morenas on Falstad, heading straight into the frequent flyer over here. Yeah, always gotta get those miles in. That's super important for sure. So we'll see how that works out for him. Bishops on Hanzo, and Denado is playing Diablo. Okay, so let's see what they can pull off here. I mean, again, we honestly haven't seen that talent in competitive play played just yet. So it's kind of neat to have the increased attack speed and everything. Obviously looking at the damage and takedown and everything. We'll see if that's going to work out for him properly or not. Last time that Falstad was played, he had quite an impact in some of the games, but in others he just simply got farmed because we had so much aggression against them. So the word isn't really out on the bird yet. Got changed in the last patch, but the word isn't really out on him yet. We haven't seen him banned yet. He hasn't been a huge priority or anything. Teams are playing with him. But it's nothing crazy up to this point, at least. So they Quasar and Masquerade, they make it out. So that was the first one here. And another wall's done. Yeah, last time it was Masquerade on Diablo that bullied people. This time it's going to be Denado. We have Brightwing eliminated, so that's an early kill for Team Arthas. Definitely a better start into this than they had thus far. So, good for them. Bottom of the map, Morenas is already sitting tight here and gets a little bit more wave clear in. Is currently also sitting on the 3 additional stacks here, as you can see right now, for the extra attack damage. And time will tell how much he is able to put onto the frontliners, onto Jojo, Malthael, and also Hoggar. But they're stealing camps already, so they're making moves towards the blue team's camps and stealing one of them away. And there's of course still 2 up that could be fought over. But yep, Morena's still sitting in the middle, doing his thing too. They're attempting to chase Malthael as well. Stalk is actually locking him in for just a second. And Quasar's in trouble. And Quasar is dead. Escaped for a second with 3 hit points. And then Hanzo put the final nail into the coffin and drops him. So, well played. That's 2 kills to 0. And I said during the draft that they gotta step it up. And so far, it is looking pretty good. They're definitely starting to do that here. Level 4 talents are now kicking in. Again, the hammer gains for Falstad, so continuing with the auto attack style here, and with the lane sustain that the talent gives him. Now, it's still going to be 2 camps against 1, as you can see. So, yep. And what else? Bishops is the only one going for it. Falstad could help him out, but Morenas is still starting to stack here. So, towards the top. Trying to go for the drop on the mech again. The experience is still fairly the same. The thing is, like, they are trying to invade the camp. Or at least they were thinking about it. They finally decided against it, which was a good choice, since there's all 5 heroes ready to defend it if need be. But the poke is, of course, going to continue from Chromie throughout all of this. And, well, Stalk is already incredibly low on his mech. Now, want to save that for a little bit longer, to be honest. And Morena's also still being active as he's pushing out another wave for them. They want to have a lead into level 7, but both of them are still fairly far away from that. Diablo is also rather low with only 35 souls to his name. There's the combo. The attempt to flip Jojo into the Diva bomb, but it didn't work out because the trade was still up and she used the Iron Skin to escape there. Nice attempt at a kill against Quasar, but Bishops can't connect it properly. That could have been the end of it. And Bishops is playing with fire here. He has a 200 hit points. If he gets touched by anyone, he is just toast. So he's poking from a distance, but they're still on eye level on the stacks. It's 60 to 21, so there's not a big gap in favor of Team Arthas. And Bishops doesn't have his cooldown on any of the fountains, so he's just simply moving away. And yeah, that could be a bit dicey because it gives a bit of extra time towards the blue team as they are locking in 1 stack after another. And it seems like they're going to get a freebie on the first Protector, the first Punisher. It's going to be the Arcane Punisher straight through the mid lane. And they're even trying to invade this, really? Yeah, I don't think so. Camp gets taken. They're deciding against it. They want to lose the hero here and then all of a sudden be in trouble. So instead we now have the bait of the Punisher over the wall. Falstad coming in straight away with a boomerang. As usual, even after the changes that we're having here. So gets the additional damage in and the reduction in spell armor. Malevolence is also through. And the party continues with the wall being broken. Still not a single kill for 30k. Not a single kill for 30k thus far. Bird gets attacked again. Morenas, they are chasing him. They are chasing him. And yeah, cooldown could come up soon again. He's gonna make it out. And still got his heart rate throbbing, I can tell you that much. Okay, so as it stands, we got 11 stacks on Falstad. Get some damage out. We still have both teams with a level 7 talents. It's nothing really too spicy just yet. Only 2 kills and both of them against the blue team. So not really the fantastic start that they had on the last 2 maps. More of an eye-level fight between the two of them. Which is definitely something in favor of Team Arthas, considering how game number 1 and game number 2 went. But the big question is still, can they run and bring this through 10 towards the mid game? That's the biggest question here. So all the way up to the top side, Stalk is soloing it out. Getting some additional experience for them in the middle of the map. And a bit of poke is still happening there too. And the fountain is now also eliminated. Mana is a problem, notoriously, for Falstad. So the birdie is already flying back out. The fort in the mid lane has taken some damage, not only through the objective, but also through the camp that pushed through. Level 10 is what both of them want. And they're playing it a little bit safer for it. But there's still a camp at the bot lane that gets taken out by 30k. So they're again playing the macro style. And as you might have already realized, Chromie hasn't taken her level 10 yet. She's waiting for Lucio here. So she's actually waiting. She's checking out what's happening, what everybody is taking before she makes a choice on what she wants to go for. And Dino has all the time in the world here. If Chromie has one thing, then it's time. So there we go. Going for the loop after all. Trying to already set that one up. And it didn't really work out as intended. So she's poking, but Diablo's making a play for her and gets the wall stun against Dino. The team is ready to create space and saves her ass. And Falstad is still stacking in the middle. He's now sitting at 16 stacks, 17. Here's the last rides now. We got the Shockwave, Blessed Shield. And level 10 any second now also for Team Arthas. And that's going to give them the opportunity to go straight up for their own level 10. And Falstad is delivering the experience up at the top. As already the sound barrier, the arrow connecting. Brightwing gets out. What about Jojo? What about Dinado? There's a good sound barrier that's saving Diablo for now. And they're coming in with a gust. Not like this. Out of the Diva explosion. But they get them into a corner. And they're starting with the attack here. The push back in as they're making a play for Lucio. But Skilla gets out. And as the dust settles, nothing has been accomplished. I mean, everybody came in and just started to fire away. And they couldn't really get anything done here. So it's a little bit of a weird setup, honestly. And there were a couple of strange combos, because first we saw that gust that was of course designed to save Diablo, but it came at the same time that the explosion was already used on the side of Stalk, so well, that ended up being nothing. A little bit of a nothing burger. But then again, it gusted them more or less into the apocalypse, so that kind of helped a bit. So it was a bit of one of those moments where like, do we want that? Or like, are we okay with this? I mean, as I said, at the end of the day, they just exchanged cooldowns. Nobody was really the winner in that fight. So it was a little bit of a strange one. It's 2 kills to 2 now. And we're looking at objective number 2. And as Falstad gets attacked at the bottom, and well, with attacked I mean killed, we have at the top the position taken by Team Arthas as they're making their play for this. So yeah, so far so good. 3 kills to 2. The arrow, and can they get the kill? That one would mean a lot considering that they just lost the birdie. But instead, here comes the Shockwave. They're trying to go again for Stalk. Yeah, and the last rides on Lucio does not grant a stack. And Lucio is making his way out of the fight. Same is, by the way, true for Stalk, who also hasn't died yet. So everybody seems to be surviving here, especially since Diablo is providing a bit of cover. And Stalk makes it out. Lucio is also alive. Falstad is flying in, was trying to go for a position that he can gust them into the fort range. That one didn't quite play out for them. But boy, we have a bit of a scrappy one on our hands, don't we? Multiple heroes should have lost their lives in the last few fights, but that didn't happen. There's the Apocalypse, wall stun, inevitable end. The level 13 talent couldn't have come into play at a better moment for Malthael. He's still alive thanks to it. There's the explosion for the zone once more. The kill against Malthael. It's a triple kill, baby. 3 of them are down. Nicely done. And they're going even for number 4. And Ultralis gets pushed back in and should lose his life. And does indeed die. Yeah, well done. I mean, check this one out. 3 of them dying quickly. Initially, it seemed like they might be able to save a few of them, but then Jojo dies, and Diablo comes in, cuts their path of retreat off, and that allows Team Arthas to get 3 kills, 4 in total, considering that they also dropped Hogger on the way back. So all of a sudden, we're looking at level 13 versus 13. A kill advantage for Team Arthas, and on top of that, they are also now in a position where they are about to lock in an objective. Sustained wins has not been taken as well. So we got a little bit of bonus damage too. And that is, of course, kind of neat for the birdie with the auto attack build that he's going for. We got 29-30 stacks by now on the level 1. So the damage output for Falstad isn't really insane at this point. It's 18,000. So as you can see, it's nothing to write home about. Big arrow! And he gets eaten by Malthael, who simply uses the inevitable end again. The problem is that Ultralis is not so lucky. Ultralis actually dies. And since Falstad was already here, that means he gets additional stacks together. And while he might not have the best damage against heroes right now, he's doing fairly well on the siege damage, since he's the one sitting on the side lane a lot, and also providing experience for the team. And on top of that, in the late game, he can then chunk the targets down once that he is stacked even further. So, Team Arthas is doing a much better job than they did in the previous games. Not that that's very hard, but they're still able to slowly pull that off, so good for them. Can they go all the distance and force game 4 though? That's the bigger question right now. I mean, right now, as you can see, we got them with the move for the camps. They already opened the mid lane up a little bit. Single stack for Malthael through that last battle. But yep, level 16 talents. That's next on the agenda. They let the camp slide even. Chromie is coming in again. Trying... Oh, wall stun. Okay. And always, seriously. Chromie is such an annoying hero. It's like, it's crazy. Yay! Shut up, that wasn't a compliment. Jesus. Take a hint. Nobody likes you. You're like Brightwing. 7 to 4 kills, half a level until we're on 16, and the blue team is trying to make the best out of that small window where they can still fight with even talents and invades the right side of the map. Yeah, the arrow into the apocalypse, the combo, yes! That's how you set that play up. It's a great start into the fight, and they are going for the kill. They get the kill against the 2 blondies. Jojo is down, and so is Chromie. Hogger, he also drops, and all of a sudden they are going for Nequaza, who was trying to get back. Hearthstoning here, gets interrupted, but at least he doesn't die. And look at the setup, look at the combo. Look at that beautiful arrow into an apocalypse. That started all of it up. First division, here comes the arrow, bam, it connects, the APOC is there, and then shortly after, the kills are coming in. Well played. And that's 10 kills against 4, level 16 against 15. We're currently having the bottom fort being demolished completely. And Falstad has in the meantime going for the crippling hammer for a little bit more slow, a little bit more control in these team fights. Level 16 talents obviously playing a role there as well. If you look over to the damage output, he's also starting to get a bit more hero damage, but the focus is still on siege damage for the birdie. 31,000 for Malthael. He's trying his best. They're still holding on to the fort in the middle. I mean, it's about experience. It's about trying to get the XP here together. We got 4 kills to 10 now. And everybody is just making a move at this point towards the top right, as it seems, to go for an invade. That's a bit of a choke point where you don't want to fight in. Against the Diablo composition, I mean, I'm not quite sure if that's really the battle you guys want to take. Against Dibbles, really? There's the APOC, there's the arrow, and Malthael is dead. Mid-Ansage. I mean, I honestly don't know what exactly they thought would happen here in that particular position, but oh boy, that is not going their way, is it now? Ultralisk, after that Gust is getting dropped, they're trying to make the play for X-Ray and the rest of them. It is Chase City, baby. Population 5. Team Arthas, they're chasing them hard. Yeah, Brightwing, you can run, baby, but you can't hide. Nope, even the Polymorph is not going to save you. By the way, you are not safe either. That's an easy kill by D.Va. And Brightwing made it out. Yeah, you can run. X-Ray, look at that. I mean, rumor has it that he is applying for French citizenship because he is amazing at running away. So, yeah, he made the play. He didn't hide, he ran, and successfully at that. So, well done, the French defense. Once again successful. I mean, honestly, that one was a pretty sick escape. Applause, applause. Round of applause for X-Ray. top numbers, top scores are running away. That was a good one. But it doesn't change the fact that they are now 9 kills behind, 2 levels behind. The objective is open. I mean, Team Arthas, they definitely stepped it up. They definitely stepped it up big time here. Falstad is also getting more and more stacks together through all of these fights and kills that they're getting. So now currently he's sitting at 43. And yeah, they're invading the spot lane hard. So you have the Punisher coming in. It's the Frozen Punisher too. So that it helps them even more. And yeah, there we go. It's a level until 20. They're 2 levels ahead. The stats advantage alone that they're running is just absolutely crazy. And off we go. Wall is open. Arrow. This time they dodged out on it. This time they dodged the arrow. Third time is the charm. The third time they saw it coming. Mid lane gets attacked by a camp, by the way, so it might be the end of the fort in the middle of the map. The focus is, of course, on the keep here at the bottom, but still. Chromie coming in again with a little bit of damage. They're trying to make the play right here for keep number 1 of the game, and it's looking good for them. Yeah, there's the play against the D.Va mech. And also, is it enough? Nope. It's still alive. At this point, you just want to go for the suicide bird, fly in, and take it down. I mean, go for the birdie, baby. Sacrifice it. It's for a good cause. Go for it. Honestly, I feel they can just like poke it down. Yeah, but then again, they're getting poked on the Nado side, and that is a problem. They get the kill, though. They might lose Dibbles, but they drop Jojo, so that's still a fair trade, especially if they now can make their way down to the bottom of the map and take the keep after all. Which is pretty much all that you're trying to accomplish here in the first place. They don't have level 20 yet, but it's so incredibly close that it should drop any second. And once that it does, you are in a pretty good spot there. Alrighty, so the arrow connecting. Ah, but only in the back. Not much more they can do. So with that, we got our level 20 talents. The bullseye is in, and so is the Hellgate. And here comes the ablative armor, the Bossa Nova. And also destruction of the keep, finally. Alright. Nicely done. Is there a kill against Chromie? Yeah, maybe not. Leonardo's back to business, but he gets dropped by the last rights. They're getting a bit cocky here. They're getting a little bit cocky, honestly. Yeah, it's another kill. That's Lucio down. Guys, you gotta be careful. Yes, you took quite a few structures, but you're not as far as ahead as you think you are. They're getting a bit too aggressive in this. They fought hard to get to a position where they are ahead, and they're taking a significant lead in this game. But let's be honest for just a moment. They have not won this game yet. Hasn't happened yet. So a little bit more cautious of how you're going to play this. Because this could still backfire. Especially since the blue team is not only trying to make plays for camps. They are also trying to see if they can maybe, just maybe, get another kill here at some point. And if you start to stack some kills now, stagger deaths, then the death timer is going to become a big problem for you. So, yep, a little bit more careful, please. But as all of this continues, let's see what else happens. Because first of all, we have the fort at the bot lane taken down. The fort in the middle has been destroyed. The blue team is making some inward plays now. They're still heavily behind in at least... I mean, for what it's worth, kills, but it doesn't really mean a whole lot anymore at this point, so that's a thing. Yeah, but the bigger question is, of course, right now, what else can you pull off here? Because as we are looking at all of this, as you can see, there's another objective up on the map, where the teams have to fight for. Camps are now being taken on the left side. Falstad has 50 stacks now. This could be really... I mean, this could be the fight that decides the game, or it could be the ticket for 30k back into this. There's still a chance that they run this with a 3-0. Team Arthas, a bit too aggressive earlier. Yeah, Masquerade, already in position at the side. One good setup with a nice blessed shield, and you have a play in your hands. There's the blessed shield, and the Gust and the Apocalypse both get used right away. Bit of a panic button move here by them. One of the ults would have been totally enough, but instead we have that double. And of course now they have to play without those 2 ults on the objective. But to be fair, also the shockwave was used by Hogger. So there's a lot of ults down already as they're making the play for Hogger. And Ultralisk, he is spinning out. But the kill against Brightwing sets Team Arthas up for a fantastic team fight. Brightwing is down. Falstad is flying, is trying to attack the back here. They go for Chromie. Hanzo is down, so are Pogga and the Chromester. The Quasar is very much alone here right now. together with Masquerade, and they're getting murdered. This is game 4. This has to be game 4. Where are you going? They're not going for the core? Really? Damn. They even have Gust up. They have this... Okay, now they're making the play for the core. Are they? Are they aware that they just killed 3 heroes? I mean, guys, where are they headed? They want to get the kill against Jojo. They might get the kill against Jojo. They can get the kill against Jojo now. But the Blessed Shield gets used. They could have opened the top up. I'm a little bit confused to what we're seeing here, because I expected them to go for the core right away, considering that they still had the sound barrier, and they also had the Mighty Gust. If they feel they cannot go for the core, I would have suggested trying to go for the top keep before the objective comes in. So, a little bit curious why they allowed them to come back into the game without getting anything out of this one. You can, of course, always make the argument that, hey, Khaldor, they got the objective. But I think they could have gotten way more than the objective. If you don't want to risk getting wiped at the core, fair enough, I get it. But then at least try and take the keep down a little bit. Even if you don't destroy it, if you bring it down to 50%, that's a freebie right there. So, not really sure what's going on there. I think maybe they were a little bit afraid that their usual typical aggression would lead to them losing a map that they feel they won already. So they want to play it safe, but I think that's a bit too safe here. I mean, either way, this is the situation as it is. We got 3 stacks on Malthael. There's the jump. They're, of course, going to try to make the play. The minimum here has to be the keep. You want to go for core, but the minimum is keep. And the keep falls quickly. Very, very quickly. So now they're just poking them out. There's obviously a little bit of a bait into the middle as the Punisher gets baited hard. And the shots are still getting fired. Hogger is making it out, so good for him. But the fight still continues, and the core is next on the menu. Could go for the mid keep, of course, as well. Big lead still in structures, no matter what or how you're looking at it. But this is the objective already gone. And now you really have to ask yourself, do you really want to fight this? Okay, so there comes the Gust already after we had the move. And now they're going for core. So now they're going for core in a 5 versus 5. Like, I'm not so sure about that move. Like, going core right now? Seriously? Earlier you just simply said, like, nope, not happening. And now you want to make a play for core? They went a bit deep, and they are eating that Blessed Shield. That could be a kill against Dibbles. It is a kill against Dibbles. The only question is, do they get the counter kill? And Diablo is going to be back. But this is 9 to 18. Shot calling here towards the end is a little bit weird. Hogger just poked himself to death, by the way. And now they're all of a sudden looking at it again. It's like, you know what? Now that Hogger is down, let's go, boys. I am a little bit torn on the decision making. Diablo is back, that's true. It's a 5 versus 4 once that he arrives. But given the earlier situation and comparing it to this one, I pretty much think I know which one was advantageous. So here's the play. There's the move straight into Jojo. Good combo. But they cannot get the kill. They still want to go for the core though. But yeah, talking about Pogger, I mean, look at this one. This is how you pog yourself to death. So just in case that you're wondering, he went in and yeah, there's not chance for him. He's like ding 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 ding. Not the result that he was hoping for. But I'm still a little bit confused as to what happened in the last 3 minutes of this game. Now, by now, Falstad has, by the way, taken a significant jump in hero damage, as you can see. So previously, he was more so focused on the siege damage. Now we also have him with some serious numbers on the hero damage itself. And of course, that is going to increase if this continues. 100,000 damage already for Hanzo. But this game isn't over yet. Now we're already 24 minutes in. So I don't know why Team Arthas is being aggressive here. I really don't get it. Like, their smartest play is... Yeah, now they're losing Lucio. I have no idea what these guys are doing at this point. Their smartest play is to play it super slow, play for this objective, and let the top lane push out. Yes, the opponent has Brightwing, but Brightwing cannot stop all of these waves. And we have a catapult on every single wave right now, whereas the blue team doesn't have any catapults at all. So the smart play to make here is to just simply fall back, take it easy, take it slow, not lose a hero like they just did, and simply play around the objective. Posture here, force your opponent to react, and if your opponent doesn't, then the top lane is going to finish. Guys, we're 24 minutes, 25 minutes into the game. Catapults are ripping the core a new one within seconds. So, you don't need to be aggressive here anymore. I feel Team Arthas is now in a position where they are trying to play more of a macro style. They're really uncomfortable with it, or at least it seems like they're a bit uncomfortable with it. So they are making mistakes that they normally wouldn't make if they were a bit more experienced with this. So instead they're trying to go for Brightwing. Yeah! I like the way they did that. I mean, they screwed it up a little bit, and they're putting everything on the Fruit Fly, but they get the kill. So you can say that might not have been perfect what they just did there, but they got the kill. And that's all they got to do. And now they can go for the objective. Just fall back and go for the objective. You have 53 seconds to make a play for the objective, and your opponent has to defend the core. So this is a really nice move. Yes, it wasn't clean, but it was a cool move regardless. There's the Blessed Shield, is a desperate attempt, but yeah, this is a 5 versus 4. And the core is already under attack, so there's catapults pushing into the middle and onto the top lane. So this is a great setup now for Team Arthas. And Pogga is down. They can simply go for the objective, they can go for the core. At this point, it doesn't matter anymore. Chromie is also dead. This is going to be game. We're looking at game 4. We're definitely looking at game 4. That's the minimum that we're going to get out of the series. Yeah, Denado survives also through the last rides, and now they can make the play here. Core is already getting attacked. Catapults are on it. That kill against Brightwing was super sexy. It was a really, really nice choice by Team Arthas. Yes, not the cleanest kill, but it was definitely the right move. Well done. And that is game 4, ladies and gentlemen. Well played, Team Arthas, with the victory on Infernal Shrines. Nicely done by them. Well played. Dragonshire, game number 4, everyone. Yeah, we are actually here. I'm as surprised as you guys are. After the first 2 maps, I thought, alrighty, this is going to be a 3-mapper. I mean, I'm not going to lie. They got their asses kicked. So I was just looking at this and I was like, oh my god, it's going to be a quick 3-0. I was like, unbelievable. I thought Team Arthas could really fight back a little bit more. And then game 3 came in and I was like, this is starting to look a little bit better over here. It's not too bad. But a part of me still believed that towards the end, 30k is going to step it up and bring in the win. But no, Team Arthas, it was a little bit weird at times with the decisions that they made, but they won it. And especially that decision to go for Brightwing and just fire everything they had on the support paid out very well for them. Now, they have map choice, since 30k decided that they want to go for first pick, first ban. The bans are pretty much the same here. You could still play that Tracer and Malfurion setup, and after that was successful twice for 30k, Team Arthas decided that they're going to ban Malfurion out once more. Now, by default, that's going to leave some of the heroes open that you want to ban. Medivh, Chromie, and Uther were still up for grabs. They're even buying Junkrat, pretty much in the thought process, hey, if you buy a different hero, then we can now all of a sudden make a play. And Medivh gets banned, because with a Junkrat ban, if you don't ban Medivh and you say like, well, maybe here we can play against him, normally against Medivh you want to play Junkrat, because he's really good of creating space around the portals and controlling them. But right now, that allows for an Uther pick, which now means that the red team should take Chromie. So it's a bit of a weird interplay. That one force into a ban on Malfurion really just changes the dynamic a little bit between the two teams and what they want to go for. So it's kind of interesting. There's Chromie, that was expected. The only question is really what do they take with it. Top lane, we go for D.Va. Yeah, so D.Va is in. That's a double IIR. So, stage is set. Already bringing this up. And let's see what the blue team can draft now. Because both of the games that they won handily, they also won with a Malfurion and Tracer combo. And the first game that was banned out, well, a couple of hiccups in there, but it was taken by Team Arthas. So now we got Uther and Sonya plus Maiev. I was waiting for Maiev in the last couple of games, and whenever Ultralisk locked another hero, and I was just like, yeah, I could have seen the Maiev there. But now this time we have it. And that's already a pretty beefy one. I mean, Uther very likely played as the main tank. Together with that, we got now Sonya and Maiev. That's a very, very beefy frontline too. I mean, there's a lot that you have for this. And how do you deal with it now? Is there support in particular that you are weary about? No, they are more worried about Sylvanas in that lineup. And of course, it's also going to be a question of if one of them is still going for a bit of a global. We've seen Falstad now played once. Could be played against here. So there's another one that they could log in. Diablo. A lot of bullying today. A lot of bullying in this series. So no dibbles this time. gets banned as well. Ah, those combos in the last game with Hanzo Arrow into Diablo, I called them out during the draft already, but that, of course, did quite a number. There were a few missed ones, but still, a lot of the kills came through with a good setup, so nicely done. There's the Jojo instead, so that still gives them a stun. We got Brightwing, okay. There's your Global. He's a little bit of side lane control. And Bishop's the only one that hasn't picked yet. Hanzo is still up. If he wanted to, he could still play it here. But what is X-Ray? What is Dino gonna get? That is the more important question. What is Dino gonna play here? If they go for a double support, they can give Dino whatever. And X-Ray is gonna lock in that second support. They're gonna play with that main tank role. Karazim Zagara! Okay! Now we're talking! We're going for a bit of a push party. Mena, is it you? What's happening here? Last one to try and make that a thing was Mena, and it didn't really work out for him. But yeah, we got Zag in play. I mean, if you wanted to go for the Queen of Blades, I think you wanted... Did you want the other Queen of Blades? Are you looking for Kerrigan here? I mean, again, I know both are queens, but still, like... and there's the birdie. The birdie is in. False set Brightwing up against Zagara. I mean, no matter what happens here, this is going to be good. So, I'm excited. Let's go, everybody. Dragonshire, we got 30k going up against Team Arthas in the 4th map of this best of 5 Heroes of the Storm series. Game number 4, 30k against Team Arthas. X-Ray on Karazim, Ultralisk on Maiev, Quasar on Sonya as the blue team wants to clear out the series. We got Masquerade on Uther, Dino on Zagara, and to the right side of the map it is a Stalk again on the side lane with D.Va. We got Skilla on Brightwing, Denado on Johanna, Morenas on Falstad, and Bishops is playing Chromie. So, let's go. Team Arthas successful on the last map. Now we got the Corpse Feeder in on level 1 for Zagara, and with Falstad, Morenas is going for the Frequent Flyer again, so looking at the same setup that he played earlier. We're gonna likely see him focus onto the side lanes at first, trying to get that siege damage going and slowly stacking his level 1 so that he can do the damage later on in the game. But, yep, this is gonna get interesting. There's a couple of traps already being set up, but nobody's really falling for it just yet. Of course, control of creep is going to be important too, and they're going to try and make sure that, yeah, that Dino isn't going full J-Dome here. We want to make sure that there's at least a little bit of creep control, and not allow them to just like spread that all over the place. This is the moment when you lead Leoric with the Janitor. Like, he is cleaning all that shit up in no time. Obviously, only the Janitor skin is really delivering in this one. It's the only one that does it justice. But if you want someone to clean all of this shit up, the Janitor is just absolutely gold. But yeah, at this point, we got it in the mid lane, just a little bit of control. I mean, this is obviously kind of the space where you want to have the most vision right here. If you have a couple of nice creep tumors, then you always see the rotation coming in. Obviously, always assuming that it comes through the direct path. It makes your entire setup much safer. And on top of that, you also have an opportunity to maybe set a gank up yourself. So it is kind of neat. But either way, as all of this is now panning out, we got the camp taken at the bottom of the map already. The red team is more so focusing on their own camp on the right side, which will allow the birdie to be a bit more aggressive. Zagara is using all of her tools to take a siege giant camp. And that sets a pretty aggressive push-up. And you can already see that X-Ray is actually waiting with this camp. So they're trying to cap it together with Zagara. So once that the siege giant cap is making its way onto the lane, Karazim is going to take this one, and that is going to deliver a really strong push towards the bot lane, especially since Zagara is going to push with it. And here we go, the 1-2 punch is coming in, and Bishops is already sitting tight, and he's like, team, I need help. So, yep, that is going to hurt. Now, their siege giants are in a perfect spot to help with the defense, but this is still dangerous. And yeah, this is also a dangerous move here by Denado, but he still had the Iron Skin up, so good for him. So the explosion is ready. Top side is getting pushed too, by the way, so let's not forget about that. Falstad has the assistance of their own bruiser camp, so it's not like they don't have any push power themselves. But there's the tether and the kill. D.Va a little bit too late in her attempt to make it into the mech, and that is kill number 1 in the game here. So, yep, nicely done. And yeah, with D.Va down, for some reason, that doesn't even trigger on the board. D.Va is so sneaky that she doesn't make it onto the kill board here. Yeah, Falstad is now starting to make his way over. We got currently 6-7 stacks for the birdie. Again, it's going to be a slow process for him, but as you could see on the last map, it worked actually really well for them. Now, Morenas is still sitting in the middle and is going to be the one to make sure that they're not going to lose out on too much here. But, well, off we go. X-Ray and Ultralist are going to try to take this, but Stork is interrupting. At the bottom, they're fighting for it, but Denado has to fall back already. It's a 3 versus 2, and they're losing it. So, control is being held, but top side, that's where the bird makes a bit of a play. Immediately moves out since he has to catch the experience and was about to lose those globes. They also realized that in the middle there wasn't really a threat because the players of the blue team fell back, so he could move away. He didn't have to take the temple right away. And yeah, good for him. Level 7 talents are now in as well. And here we go. To kill for X-Ray. They're trying to go for him. Karazim is already jumping on them heavily, and the mobility is helping him out nicely. But with Brightwing assisting Jojo, they're still fine. There's the tether. Big fight at the bottom. 4 versus 4. Can they get the Uther drop? Yes! There we have it. Pretty much ran over by the Diva mech, but also the kill against Jojo. And now the pilot is in trouble too, and that's another kill right there. Well done. So, Diva goes down, this time mech and pilot both. And all the way up at the top, the wall is also falling. And I don't know, but this is looking like the first Dragonite of the game here. Ultralisk has taken the minion wave out, and there's just no denying it. This is going to be a DK. 4.5 minutes in. First Dragonite, the leading experience, and off we go. Bot lane, that's where we got Dino already moving in. Also trying to take, of course, the fountain at the bottom of the map down. I mean, that's the first thing that the minions are focusing on too, and that takes the lane sustain away. You're trying to make a play for the fort here. If you get that and the middle of the map, that would, of course, be the dream. And Zagara definitely brings the push power. Now, she's pretty weak when she gets ganked, and that's the one thing that they have to try and do. Zagara might have a huge problem later on in the game, to be fair. After level 10, when Team Arthas can come in with a stun setup and then Chromie burst damage, she might actually be in trouble. And talking about trouble, not only does the top fort fall, but it seems that Stork is in trouble too on Diva. But with Brightwing's help, she's going to be fine for now. The fort is lost though, and in the mid lane, we have the fort nearly destroyed by the Dragonite. And now they got level 10 on top of that too. So the top fort is down, the one in the middle is nearly gone. At the bottom of the map, it has taken damage, and also the loss of the wall. And the attack against the birdie with the 7-sided, 3 kills to 1, 30k is just dropping them again. Game number 3 didn't really go their way, and there were a lot of fights where Team Arthas just dominated, but now it is the exact opposite again. Helpful, of course, that you have the early level 10 for the blue team. Now that we get level 10 kicking in for Team Arthas, they might be able to bring it back, but they are losing so much ground here. I mean, it's 5-6 minutes into the game and you already lost every single outer structure. That's a problem. That's a nightmare, honestly. So now they're going straight up for the bottom fort, or for the bottom wall, trying to open this one up too. Denado, the birdie. Uh-oh, there's the maw. Yeah, the explosion is still coming in. The Divine Shield is out. Can they get a kill against the bird? Not so much. Ultralisk with the cage, and they're all just moving away here. Yeah, a bit of a scrappy battle, but it's not really over yet because Quasar is still eating damage and gets slowed down. There's a 7-sided, alright, eaten by Jojo, and at least the Iron Skin helped her. But Ultralisk is also getting attacked and barely makes it out before Bishop is able to connect the damage to drop him. Yeah, 3 kills to 1, but the level 10 definitely helped Team Arthas to be a bit more competitive in these fights, as you can tell. Haven't really done a whole lot yet with this, though. Top lane is pushing, so that's at least a bit of a relief, but Sonya is already on the way to deal with the situation. And looking at the damage output, what do we get so far? Zagara with a 16,000. It's still Sonya and Maiev that dropped the most damage on her. Chromie with 17k. Also looking fairly good here. And of course, for Volstead, it's the same story. He's not stacked yet. He's not really focusing on heroes unless he has to. So he doesn't really have any big numbers here. He's just barely ahead of Johanna at this point. The problem is really the level 30 talent. 30k has taken control of the game again. It's a small advantage that they have, but it's an advantage they can build on. Unless, of course, they're losing a couple of heroes here. And even with the sustain that they are holding, it seems like Uther is having a big problem. Masquerade, the maw, and even that is not enough to save him. The triple maw, and it is still a kill against him. But there's Chromie getting dropped. Easy Chromie kill. And that is a 4 versus 4. Every time they get a kill, there's the counter-aggression from 30k. Now, of course, the fight continues. It seems like X-Ray is a bit low, but Sonya isn't even here, and she's making her way over to the Dragonite, and she's like, I don't really know what you people are fighting for or over, but I'm gonna take this one. Don't mind me! Grabs it, easy peasy. There's a talent advantage, of course, as well. And the Dragonite, yeah, she can make her way. And my F at least is down, and that allows Team Arthas to defend, I suppose. So they can make a play there. And there's an awkward moment for Sonya. She's like, I'm a mighty dragon. Let's kill everything. And the team is like, nah, dude, like, we just lost my F. I'm not so sure how much we can actually do here. Sonya's a little bit disappointed, but what can she do? She's just going for the Dragon's Breath. And I guess they're opening the wall up further. But I don't really think they can make the play for keep that they probably initially planned to drop. Yeah, level 13 isn't there yet, and they're actually ignoring the Dragonite. They're trying to force the fight in the backline. It's amazing to me that they're not putting more pressure on the Dino, but I would not let Sonya do her thing here. I mean, boys, you kind of want to hold on to that beast. So, yeah, that was a bit of a kick. How do you kick a mech away? How do you do that? Have you ever tried to, like, kick anything? Have you tried to kick a truck? Doesn't go that well for you normally. And I don't care if you're a big lizard with a battle axe. If you try to kick a truck, that doesn't work. And a mech is bigger and heavier. So there's the timeout. Zagara is still fine. Chromie, not so much. Nope, she's down, and Diva died too. Yeah, they're getting farmed again. It's Farm City. They're coming in with the next one. That keep is toast. And, yep, where are they going to go from here? Taking the fountains down, all of them. Okay, even focusing on the keep in the middle. Dino is totally safe in the back. They create so much space for him. There's so many stuns involved and so much damage that Dino is just not under attack. And that's the big problem that you have with Zagara in the first place. If Zagara is getting attacked, if there are heroes that jump on her, she just melts away. She melts away like ice cream in the sun and has no chance of survival pretty much. Like, the escape tools that she has are very, very mediocre. Or you have to drop big cooldowns. But if you can protect her and just create so much space for her, she can hurt. And that's pretty much what's happening here. I mean, we got 4 melee heroes and Zagara the only range damage, and they were trying to get some damage on her. And if Chromie at any point would be able to drop some targeted damage, then it would be the end of her. Pretty much the same thing as what happened to Sonya just now. But so far they haven't been able to make that play. There's a fly in the attempt to get a gust. Well, they get the gust. The angle might not be perfect, but they're trying to make a play for Uther. Gets attacked again. Masquerade is zoned out. He's getting zoned a little bit, and they're trying to put a body block too. But they can't get the kill. Benediction was already out. They also had to sacrifice the 7-sided strike to make sure that they didn't dive too deep after him. But of course, it was a bit of a desperate attempt by Team Arthas to come in and get a kill. They're not stacking the bird as quickly as they would really like to, so Morenas isn't in a position where he can drop all the damage yet. Yeah, still pushing out the top lane, trying to get at least some structural damage done. But yeah. I mean, damage output, Zagara is now at 35,000. In an ideal world, they would somehow be able to drop some damage onto her. I mean, Chromie with Karazim in play couldn't really go for a Toporo loop either. Divine Shield, my F, slow, and that's a kill. Alright, they get one, but do they lose? No, they saved Right Wing this time. Yeah, another gust against Uther, get the fuck out of here. And they're trying to go for Sonya, and they get her. Alright, there's a little bit of an inward play that they're making, but this is a problem, because Dino's just simply saying, guys, if you want to fight, you can fight. I don't care. I don't care when Mommy and Daddy are fighting, I'm just simply ending the core. And that's the end of the game, probably. Well, 2%, and that's a 3-1 victory. Nicely done. Congratulations to 30k and Zagara for taking down Team Arthas.
Thank you everybody for watching the video today. I hope that you enjoyed the show and the commentary. And keep in mind that the spoiler protection that is going to run for the rest of the video is made possible by all the support on patreon.com. So guys, if you want to support my work, if you want to help me start new projects and keep the spoiler protection in place, please consider heading over to patreon.com/Khaldor. There's also a link in the YouTube description, and check that out. Thanks in advance, and see you guys next time with more esports coverage here on Khaldor TV. Have a great day.